Hello there guys, and of course welcome back into yet another one with us, the Review Bros. My name's Aaron and it's good to have us join today for, of course, again another supplement review. And this one comes in the form of this. It's called Magnify. Now it's the nitric oxide production pre-workout pump formula by the guys at Huge Supplements. It does come in a pill formation, so it is slightly different to what we used to here. But of course, we're going to try and go through those usuals we look for. Taste, price, label, and of course, primarily the effects in the real world. What can these do for you? Forgetting the hype and keeping this review 100% honest. Let's get into it. So the first segment normally relies on us talking about the taste and the mixability, and of course it's going to be different for a pill formulation because it won't come in flavours and it won't mix in water. But I'll show you what the expectation is for taking the product. So it's to take 6 pills. So if you don't like taking tablets or pills, you don't like the effort of swallowing them, it's probably one to avoid. That's the truth. There's 6 of them. They're typical sized. I personally don't have a problem with them. I do them in 2s, 2, 4, 6 and get them all done like that. It kind of also forces you to have that water element, therefore of course some hydration and hopefully some effect later on in the gym. You know, hydration is such an important thing. With pills, the advantage is of course it's going to make you take it, and on top of that it won't clump up in the tub. They're going to always stay like that, which is a convenience factor. Doesn't mean breaking your pre-workout, especially pump formulations. It can go in your gym bag and be used to add on. You don't even need to do the full 6 pills, but of course, for maximum results you will. So yeah, how much are these going to set you back as we're going to move into the pricing point now? So we now move into the price of this product. How much is it going to set you back? And for those of you who don't know, we do have a discount code on the official Huge Supplements website. RB10 knocks off 10% off of this product and anything else there. So use it as your free will, guys, to use and save a little bit of cash. Using that discount code, you can get your hands on these for $40.95. You do get a true 30 servings on the full dosage, 6 pills. So of course some people might use just 4 pills, some might just use 3, therefore you're doubling up and you're getting an even better cost to servings ratio, right? But for the sake of the review, we always go by the maximum serving to keep it consistent, and therefore doing it on that 6 pill dosage will cost you $1.35 per go. UK guys, for the sake of a pure translation across, just £1.09. And on our consistent pre-workout pricing scale, which is a little bit tricky when you concern pump formulations, only pills, they always come in a bit different to us, but for the sake of it, it would come in at an 8 out of 10. So cheaper than a typical pre-workout, especially a pump formulation, which generally speaking are more expensive than even the stim pre-workouts out there. So it's a good segment to the review. Let's move into the label. What is it packing for that money? Now we talk label. What are these pre-workout pills packing? They do struggle, of course, compared to a powder formulation, which doesn't really have a limitation on the weight. Pills, you've got to remember there's only so much you can pack in it. If you was to put in your normal 8 to 10 grams of citrulline, you'd need to be taking sort of a lot of them, like 10 pills plus when you're talking other ingredients as well. So it's worth bearing it in mind. But we'll start at the top. We get 2 grams of beta extract as beta vulgaris, which is a hefty dose. When you see it in a pre-workout powder formulation, you normally only see that dosage at about 500 milligrams up to 1,000 milligrams. So the fact we're talking double here. Now beetroot beta, as we know, is high in nitrates, therefore they're going to turn into an instantaneous form of nitric oxide in the bloodstream, thus helping you with, of course, nutrient delivery to the muscle cell and ultimately the pump. And I'm going to be saying quite a similar theme throughout these ingredients. A lot of them are nitric oxide based. We have, of course, nitrosogene up next at the clinical dosage, 1.5 grams. Now, there's studies that show that's equivalent to 6 grams of citrulline. So therefore, pumps to boot. Nitric oxide production from another angle. Of course, blood flow, vascularity, and vasodilation, and ultimately more pumps in the gym. We have sodium nitrate up next at 1 gram. Now, nitrate, from again what I've just said, turns straight away in the bloodstream into nitric oxide, therefore giving you an immediate sense of pump. And of course, the sodium that comes along is going to help with athletic performance, muscular contractions, and ultimately you will almost feel the difference in training. We have next up FitNox at 250 milligrams, a good dosage of an ingredient we don't typically see. Now, this has been shown to raise nitric oxide levels again by up to a massive 336%. So of course, really good when we're pairing it with other nitric oxide precursors and ingredients. So therefore, again, more pumps, more blood flow, we hope. We have S7 up next at 100 milligrams. Again, the clinical dose, a good dose of those 7 ingredients within it. Again, 230% of nitric oxide production increase on this one. So again, working with the FitNox there, we're talking a massive influx of nitric oxide in the bloodstream. Therefore, of course, maximum nutrient delivery and growth, endurance-based benefits can come alongside it. And we wrap off with bioperine black pepper, 10 milligrams for the absorption and digestion. I think very important when we're talking tablets, it helps get through them quicker. You've got that 30 to 60 minute window before training to really get these ingredients to where they need to be, and of course digesting and working on that nitric oxide production early on. So all in all, I've got to say, a really good label with their limitations there, and a really good label for the price point. But of course, it truly comes down to the effects of Magnify in the gym, and that's where we're going right now. Let's get into it. We are there, guys. We're into the effects of this one. It's Magnify, the pill pump formulation by Huge Supplements. We've got them to thank for sending it on down, but we're still keeping this 100% honest. So we're going to start at the beginning, and we typically see ourselves talking about beta-alanine, and it's not in this product. So you won't get any of the itchy, tingle-like effects that you typically get in a pre-workout. So if you miss that, you miss that. It's as simple as that. But a lot of people don't like it as well. So swings and roundabouts. And I do believe this formulation is really one to be stacked alongside another pre-workout. Not always though. And actually today, for the sake of today's review, I just used it on its own so that I can give it a fair shot at the effects and not sort of tarnish the results with other potential pump formulations and pump ingredients within other products. So we start off at the beginning. I will say it's quite important for me, and I do believe it'll be important for you, to give it more than the typical 30-minute window before training. I personally would take this 1 hour before training, so it really gives you a chance to digest through the pill and get these ingredients into the system. Start working on that nitric oxide production. But when it gets going, guys, it really does work. For me, it worked more from a salt type pump, a deep contractional, almost mind to muscle connection. And where I noticed a very different feeling from this type of product versus a typical one is when I got on, I started warming up for today's training session at hand, right? I got on the recumbent bike, just 5-10 minutes on that, just to warm things up and get things moving, right? I'm not even joking, guys. My legs started getting pumped on it. I started feeling like the tightening of the muscle working on the bike. I didn't even train hard on the bike, right? I just noticed it. When I stood up, legs felt pumped, ready to go. But I wasn't even training legs, guys. I was doing back and biceps today. The pumps are 100% noticeable. They don't give you that typical L-citrulline, watery-like, blunt, sort of almost bloated-like look in the mirror. But it feels quite like it's in the mind, it's a deep contraction-based pump.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
You feel almost like the skin's tightening around the muscle cell, and it's a nice feeling. It motivated me. It gave me that sense of mood elevation, sense to crack on through the gym. The pumps were just They were really, really solid, guys. I trained a few hours ago and I'm still feeling it. And I feel like I'm going to cramp more than usual. I really put that down to that sodium nitrate. It gives you that, you know the drill, guys, when you don't drink enough water. And that's something else it made me do. It did make me particularly thirsty in the gym. I drank for at least 1.5 litres. I think I was coming on 2 litres, which is much more than I typically do throughout a training session. I normally only do like a 500ml bottle to 1 litre at tops on a more warm day out, right? More than that, it's noticeable. The pumps were really solid. They were fighting much more stacked pump formulations in powder form. And I do think it's that kick-in time that was very important here. So yes, would I recommend it? I 100% would. If it was me, personally speaking, I'd only use 3 pills and I'd chuck it in with any stim-based product. And you're going to notice a sense of endurance, a sense of athletic performance, strength endurance. I felt strong towards the end of the session. And of course, I noticed the pumps. The pumps were, and they are what they're aiming for, right? They were solid, guys. They really did work. And I've lost the pump now. It was a good few hours ago training. It just felt right. It felt really good. The nitrates worked in this one. They gave that immediate sense of more noticeable pumps than typical. I will be using this post review, so that goes to show a testament to how good it is. If you've used it, let us know down in the comments below. It'd be really good to get a feel, because I know a lot of people, and I'm one of those. I try and avoid pill formulations just because I don't necessarily like having to sort of get them back down the neck and not choke on them, and the excess sort of digestive rate that it takes me to get them into the system, that 60-minute window typically speaking. But these were really, really, really good. They're actually fighting the bloody hell pump pills by APOLLON Nutrition. So that's how good they really are. Just a sense of well-being on them. Endurance, pumps to boot. So yeah, I would recognise them. I would recommend them, should I say. Guys, appreciate you watching at home. And as always, stay pumped. Cheers for watching.